Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Afi and I'm back again with another video. This video is another song inspiration and the song is called Keep On Hoping by Rile Clemmons. I've done a song of hers before, but then I didn't upload the video. I'm gonna do that a few weeks later. I mean, it's coming soon. And so anyway, this is a song, Keep On Hoping. I'm gonna link it down below and I'm gonna link the lyrics down below as well. And you can listen to it and let me know what you think. Okay, so the first verse says, "The weight of the world is getting heavier now, feels like it's far too much to carry around, and each and every little time that you fall starts looking like the end of it all." And as I said in another video a couple of weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago, I'm gonna be doing a lot of songs that are just like hopeful songs, sort of like picking you up from the pits or like encouraging you when you're feeling sad, and this is definitely one of them. The name is Keep On Hoping, and the first verse that says, "The weight of the world is getting heavier," right? Feels like it's far too much to carry around, and each and every little time that you fall starts looking like the end of it all. And this moment that's being described here, it's interesting because I see a picture in my head of someone who is struggling, and basically like someone who's just struggling and everything is happening all at the same time, and every little thing that happens to add on to that aggravation is like makes it even worse. So it's like you had this one, and I feel like I was actually there, and it's like there's this one thing that happened, and then something else happens, and then something else happens, and something else, and something else, and it keeps piling on. And even if these things are small things, they add up and they make you feel as if it's the end. Like you're just like, am I really going to continue like this? Like, is this really how my life is gonna end up? And you feel as if this is the end. Like you're just like, it's not gonna get better. It's like I'm not seeing it looking up. Like it's only downhill from here. Like, all that stuff. Like it's just happening all at the same time. And continuation of the first verse, somewhere hidden in the noise there's a truth, someone to believe and hang on to. In each and every little word that you hear, I pray that one thing would be so clear. And that's just reminding you that even if there's all that noise happening, and if you think about it, lately there's been a lot of noise happening, and it's not bad noise, and I think it's necessary noise, but there's a lot of it, and it can feel overwhelming. Like for example, currently there's this story that a lady was thrown off of a balcony, and then these radio hosts basically like spoke about the situation very like disrespectfully. Is that a word? Very badly, like it was disrespectful. I don't know if that was a word actually, but it was very disrespectful. And so there was a lot of noise from a lot of people saying these people need to be accountable, these people need to be fired, blah 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 blah. And as much as there was people who are advocating for that, there was also people saying, nah, I don't understand why you're offended, like you have no reason to be offended. And so it's just two separate thought processes, and it's a lot, and it can be a lot, it can be very heavy. And more than that, like there's just always a story of a girl who's been killed, or who has been thrown off a building, or who has been done this and that and blah, or she's been abused or something. Like there's just always something happening, right? And there's a lot of noise about that. And the reason why I think this is so necessary is that it says somewhere hidden in the noise there's a truth, right? And it's like, if you think about how God created us male and female, which means we are supposed to be respected equally. So that's the truth. The truth there is, do not disrespect somebody for just being a female, right? That's what the truth is. And there's all these things, and people use religion, people use faith, and people use non-religion, people use not having faith to say very many different things. But I think at the end of the day, the bottom line is, the truth is that God loves us all, and that we need to respect each other like the same way, right? And it says someone to believe and hang on to. If you hang on to God, in each and every little word that you hear, I pray that one thing would be so clear. I think that's the thing. Sometimes it's like you're hearing so many things and there's no clarity. It's almost like you're moving back and forth, like you're just moving back and forth between different ideas, but there's no clarity, there's nothing, there's no resolution or anything like that. With all those voices in your head, just don't ever forget that God's still good and He's still got it all in control. Let me tell you. When I listen to the song, this is my favorite part. First, it's my favorite part because of the words, but more than that, because of how it sounds. But the way she sings it is like, cause God's still good and He still got it all in control. I don't know why that part gives me so much joy. I don't know. I actually have no idea. And I think this is the part that actually made me really like the song. I like Rile Clemmons and I like her songs, and I've listened to a bunch of them. I really like them. I will do some inspirations on them, but that part specifically, I don't know. It's just nice. God's so good and He's still got it all in control. So even if we don't see it, even if we want to fight, and I feel like sometimes this is my excuse, or this is just what I use, that I'm not getting in the middle of fights, is I just tell myself, like, some of these fights are not yours. Like, this is not a you kind of struggle, and it's not necessarily like it doesn't affect me as an individual. I think some things are out of like human beings' hands, and there's only so much you can do, and I think you can advocate, and I think it's very important to advocate. Everybody that knows me knows I am a very strong advocate for like gender equality. I am very vocal about feminism. Like, I'm not the kind of person who's going to shy away from that. But I think sometimes you can get frustrated because you're trying to pass a message across and it's not being heard, or someone is so determined to oppose you that you're frustrated because it's your experience and they're refusing to understand your experience. But it's like, I truly cannot control what the other person does. I can't control if somebody's going to listen to my point of view. It's sad that they don't understand what I'm going through, and it's sad that they don't understand the struggle, but at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do about it. And I think sometimes it, like, things just make you negative, like you just have a black heart, like you just start to feel angry and you carry around this anger in your heart, and when someone says this one thing, you're set off immediately. You're so sensitive that if one statement is said, regardless of the intention, you're set off immediately, and that's the moment where I just say, some things you have to leave to God. Like, you do what you can, and you don't get me wrong, I'm not saying sit back and relax and leave it all to God. I'm saying you do what you can and then you let it go, because some things you cannot solve. Anyway, the chorus says, come on, keep on hoping when the days get dark. Keep on singing, don't you ever lose heart. Lift your eyes, the one who gave you life will give you strength to keep on going. I feel as if the way I've said that chorus is the way it's sung, and I'm like singing it in my head. And I really like the chorus as well, just the way it sounds as well. Keep on hoping when the days get dark. Keep on singing, don't you ever lose heart. Lift your eyes, the one who gave you life will give you strength to keep on going. I love that. And then it says, so keep on hoping. And I like that idea. I really like that idea, and this is one of the songs that just made me feel so much better. And I like it. I just really like that fact that it's like, lift your eyes, the one who gave you life will give you strength to keep on going. And I think that line is what made me want to do a song inspiration, actually. So the second verse says, what if the miracle's a moment away? What if the morning's just about to break and all the innocence you thought that you lost was there inside of you all along? The first line, what if the miracle's a moment away? So that line basically, like, situations where you feel as if like you've reached the end. You're like, and yeah, after here, that's it. Like, there's no more, right? And in that moment is when you have like a breakthrough, right? I think about something as simple as like doing an assignment. Usually, I'm like, I've given up. I'm like, okay, fine, this is it. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't find it, and I'm done, right? And in that moment that I'm done, I get ideas, and I start. And it's sort of like when you are released from the pressure, from that pressure of that moment, like, that's what it is, right? And I think, and the point of this the verse is basically sort of like, what if this moment that you're trying to give up is the moment that the miracle is going to happen, right? What if this moment that you're trying to give up is the moment that like the morning is going to break, right? You know how it's like light at the end of the tunnel? What if this moment that you're about to give up is the moment when the light at the end of the tunnel is about to appear? And the truth is that sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're like, let me just keep on moving because there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but then I can't see it, and you're still not gonna see it for such a long time. And I feel as if recently, I've told my friend this before, and I was saying, I feel as if I'm in a waiting season, as if I'm waiting for something. I don't know what I'm waiting for, and I don't know how long I will be waiting, but I feel as if I'm waiting, right? And as I'm waiting, I'm not just supposed to sit down and wait. I'm supposed to be growing myself. I'm supposed to be doing all these things to make myself a better person as I am in this waiting season, right? And so in the waiting season, I would say I feel as if this waiting season has taught me so much, and I'm still in it, so let's not get confused, but I'm still in the waiting season. And I feel as if when you're in the waiting season, there's ups and downs. There's the moments when you're like, wow, this is actually really, really, like, I can see what I'm waiting for almost, right? And then there's moments when you're like, when is this going to be over? You're just like, I'm tired of waiting, I just want to get to where I'm going. But there's a process, right? And you have to appreciate this process. And I think, and that's the point here, right? Like, what if all the innocence that you thought you lost was there inside of you all along? You know how you go through something and you feel as if you have lost a part of you, right? And you have to find your way back to it, or figure out something. But it says, what if all that innocence that you thought you had lost is just inside of you, and you have to like unleash it? And I think for me, I've noticed there's so many things I thought I had, like, there's so many things I did not know about myself, but there's things that I vaguely remember liking, and now I see myself sort of getting back to that. And it's interesting because you go through an entire process of changing, and you change, but you mostly just like remain the same. And I don't know, I find that such a beautiful concept. Anyway, we go into the chorus that says, come on and keep on hoping when the days get dark, keep on singing, don't you ever lose heart. The reason why also this line is so like important to me is because everyone knows that I sing. I've done a video where I sing. I'm always talking about songs because I said music is such an important part of my life. But things happen, and sometimes you lose the kind of passion that you had for something. And just listening to this, keep on singing, don't you ever lose heart, like, it makes me feel like, yes, I can do this. Like, it makes me want to get back to the place that I was, where like music was literally the best thing to me, and I loved singing. I could not imagine not being able to sing, and I crave getting back to that, and I'm really genuinely like working on it. I feel like there's so much pressure from around, like, for me to go back to singing now, but I think also I have to give myself time, and I have to go through the process of falling in love again with music the way I was, because I loved music. Like, I know how I'm feeling now. I is not literally, I remember how I used to feel about music, and I remember listening to myself singing like a month or two ago, and listening to that video that I took in like 2018, right? And I remember listening to that video and smiling and thinking, oh my god, I was so passionate about this thing, and I absolutely love that passion that I had, and I am so hoping to get back to that, and I crave to get back to that. Honestly, I genuinely miss singing, and I genuinely miss, like, just, I don't know, I miss it. So yeah, lift your eyes, the one who gave you life will give you strength to keep on hoping. Keep on hoping. Then the next part says, there's hope for a better tomorrow. There's hope for joy over sorrow, because God's still good and He's still got it all in control. Honestly, that line, God's still good and He's still got it in control, I feel like is so comforting, especially in the moments when you feel as if God is not there. In those moments, that's, I don't know, those are the moments that I'm just feeling like, yeah, God's still good and He still has it all in control. Like, it's not, He didn't just leave you. God is there, and He's good, and all things work out for good. There's hope for a for a world that can change. There's hope for love over hate, because God's still good and He's still got it all in control. And this line, there's hope for a world that can change, there's hope for love over hate. I feel as if earlier I spoke about all these things that are happening, and I think when you're in that frame of mind and when you're fighting people, when you're trying to advocate and when you're trying to be an activist, when you're trying to do all these things, you don't feel as if the world can change, especially when someone comes and tells you, but I disagree with what you're saying. When you feel as if what you're fighting for is the correct cause, and I feel as if there's hope for love over hate. I feel like that's something people forget a lot. Like, even as you advocate, even as you're an activist, even as you are trying to prove a point, even as you are telling somebody your experience, you have to remember that there's hope for love over hate, and you have to be the one giving love. Like, I know sometimes it's frustrating. Like, I know sometimes women get so frustrated because they're like, we're tired of educating you people about the kind of things that we're going through that is not okay. We're tired. Now it's time for action. You have to be accountable. We have to put you to jail. We have to fire you. We have to do all these things. And it's like, all of these things, of course, I think are necessary. Like, people have to be accountable, right? But then we also have to remember that we have to give people grace, and I feel like it can be so difficult. And I have been in a place where I did not want to give anyone grace. I was like, excuse me, I give you grace for what? Like, you have enough grace from society as it is. I don't need to give you grace. I don't care. But I think it's important. I think it's important for us to come from a place of love, and I think it's important for us to take a step back out of like our emotions and all the pain that we're feeling and all the sadness and all the frustration, and take a step back and just take a moment to breathe and then give off love, because I think the only way we can change is if we love. I genuinely, I don't think we can change by being aggressive. I don't think things are going to change if we fight, because people are just going to retaliate. And that's not to say that we shouldn't fight, it's just to say that I think the best solution is love. And then it continues to the chorus, and it says, keep on hoping when the days get dark, keep on singing, don't you ever lose heart, lift your eyes, the one who gave you life will give you strength to keep on going. And something that Rile Clemmons does in her songs is she gets to this place where it's like the choir is going to sing like without beats, right? So I think it's sort of like a country thing, actually. I feel like country songs are the same. Like, they have this thing where it's like at some point the instruments go off and you're just singing, and then it comes back like with a really, really nice like beat drop, and then it's like, beautiful explosion. And that's what happens towards the end, like with the final choruses. And there's a part in between that says, and know that still his promise will never be broken. Let me tell you, I've had moments when I'm like, God, you promised this and I'm not seeing it. And you have to remember that the promise will happen. Maybe not in the time you want it to happen. Maybe you still have so much growth. Maybe you still have so much more to do before you get to that promise, but it's going to happen. God's promise is always going to happen. I feel like I've talked about this before, and maybe I've even read it in like a Bible verse or something like that, because this concept of like, know that still his promise will never be broken is so familiar to me. I feel as if it's something I've chanted to myself so many times in the past year. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to remember. And I'm just gonna end this video there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.